Welcome back to GBALL Vision, everyone. Thank you for stopping in today. I have a real exciting unboxing to dig into for you. Before we get started, double check and make sure you are subscribed here to the channel. I'd love to have you hit that thumbs up button. It really helps push these videos out there so more people have a chance to check them out. Let me know what you're carrying in your pockets today down there in the comments. Love hearing from you and what you are carrying for the day. So it's always an exciting time when we get a new Miguron, right? And this is something I picked up, it was through Amazon. And I will have what I can linked down below for this knife. It is called the Galaty, or Galaty, I believe. And I didn't know this model even existed. I was roaming around on Amazon, as I often do. And I stumbled across this knife and I was like, oh, I've never even seen or heard of that before. So this must be a newer Miguron, and I would have to say it definitely is. We're looking at a nicely centered blade there. We have green micarta, and from what I can remember, there was a couple of different versions. Like I said, I'll link what I can down in the description. Those links do help out the channel if you use them. That is entirely up to you if you choose to do so. We do have a what looks like a G10 backspacer. Could be micarta, I suppose. Looks like it could be G10 though. We have a milled titanium clip there, and then we're looking at a satin finished drop point blade here. Ooh, baby. This is the combination I've been waiting for from Miguron for a while. They did start doing it this year, satin blades with micarta handles. That is something I really love. I have an absolute ton of knives in 14C with micarta handles. I just love the combination. I'm a huge fan of micarta. I know some people don't like micarta. Some people love micarta. So it just kind of depends on what your taste is. But for me, I'm a huge fan of micarta. I've bought it on very inexpensive knives, and I've bought it on very expensive knives. I'm just a huge fan of well done micarta, and they are getting some good stuff. And then 14C, I love it for this price range or around this price. I love 14C. It's really tough stuff. It's really corrosion resistant. It doesn't have a bad edge retention, label, really. I mean, it's not the best, but it's certainly not bad. And on top of that, even if it was considered not that good, and it's not considered that, it's considered decent. It's extremely easy to sharpen back up, and it's easy to get it razor sharp as well. It's a really good steel, in my opinion. The action on this thing is what you would hope and expect. It's a nice stout detent. You have to be careful of locking yourself back out. Make sure you pay attention a little bit. I'm not saying the detent is early because it's right there, so you do have enough time to get past it. Just if you're not paying attention, you might lock yourself out once in a while, but for the most part, I don't see it being an issue. For that thumb flick, that half moon style cutout there, that's really solid. Nice strong detent. The closing action is buttery smooth. A nice 1 to 2 shake. Let's see what this thing looks like in the pocket. I like what they're doing with the new milled clips. They look really good. I really like what Miguron is doing and has done over the last year and a half, 2 years. Maybe it's even been a little longer than that, like 2.5 to 3 years. Miguron's been onto something for at least the last 2 years. They've come up with, in my opinion, the ultimate combination for the best price that I think, it's one of the best bargains in the knife world is picking up a Miguron budget knife in that $40 to $60 range. They just absolutely kill it. Via the materials, yes, but the build quality is also always, or, you know, it's on point. It's going to be on point. Of course, there's misses, but, you know, all the experience I have buying Migurons, I've bought a ton of them, and AM8s, I mean a bunch. And they've all been really solid to the point where I just don't have a complaint. Clean show side, coming out of the box, sharp, good fit and finish. Deployment is, you know, normally on point. Just good ergonomics, easy to carry, looks good, just hard to beat for 50, 60 bucks. Usually their newer ones are like 60, and then you'll see them creep down to like 55, 50. Sometimes there's a sale, you know, and you can get it cheaper, but even for 60 bucks to get the materials you are getting with this thing, that is just a great deal. And I've been singing Miguron praises since I've had the channel. You know, and long before I had the channel, I was a huge fan of Miguron just because of the value that you get. It sounds, sometimes it might sound bad to say value, but in regards to a knife, if, you know, I'm talking value, I mean the best deal for the best money, right? And that is what this is, in my opinion. If you boil everything down and you just need a cutting tool, you don't need anything extremely flashy. You don't need anything, you know, with extreme handle material choices. And you just you want something that cuts good and is comfortable and going to be easy to carry, but it's not an eyesore when you pull it out of the pocket. And it's going to do everything you need it to do for an extended period. I think Miguron is one of the best options in the entire knife industry. When they're putting out knives like the Miguron and the Miguron crossbar lock with a PVD grayed out finish, and micarta, the Kirex, just fantastic designs. I will link all of these down below, and this isn't even all of them. They have a nice catalog of more affordable knives, bunch of different blade shapes that they offer, and different finishes, different handle materials. If you don't like micarta, they have G10s, tons of different colors of G10s. You know, they're offering milled clips on their knives, and I'm just now realizing it. The Miguron is completely flat, which with this knife doesn't matter one bit because of how it's laid out. It's extremely comfortable in the hand. This has a slight contour. Everything's chamfered real hard on the edges, and then it's slightly contoured there in the middle, so it really has that contoured feel to it, and it looks really good and really clean as well. And there's an idea of, you know, a couple of the micartas that they use and offer: green, blue, and black. And then they have the tan G10 and a bunch of other G10s, blacks, and various other colors. This is also, you know, these four knives could easily be put in some of the greatest budget knives of all time right here. You know, these three for sure. I've had a lot of time with these three. And this one, I'm assuming, is not going to be any different, you know, in regards to the value and how the knife performs. You know, and I have the large Valona. I've had two premium Kirexes. I have two other Migurons, you know, and a majority of all of them, I think with the exception of maybe two maybe, Miguron has sent 1 or 2 in for me to check out, but I've bought every other single Miguron that I own, and I've sold quite a few, and I still have a ton of them. So that just goes to show you how big of a fan. I have no affiliation with Miguron. They've sent me a few knives to check out, but that's the extent of it. I'm just a big fan of what they are doing and what they are putting out, and for what price. That, you know, that combination ties everything together to give us an extremely solid knife. So it's time to see what this thing is made of. We did check centering. It is nice and centered up. There's no pivot lash there. It goes, or detent lash. It wants to be closed, and then it wants to be opened. There's no lashing there. No lashing on the pivot. No movement. Soft open. There's no movement up or down. A little bit of movement side to side. That could be just a matter of turning the pivot a quarter, half turn. We do have fairly early lockup there. We're looking like 25%. Let's see how this thing fares. And I'm just now noticing that's actually a hand satin mixed with a belt satin. So it gives it a really cool contrast in certain light. I was just noticing that when I had it upside down here. So we have a hand satin on the flat and then a belt satin on the primary. So that looks really nice. And this is a $50, $60 knife. So just really impressive. Nice, strong, good action. Good. Good, good, good. Good for what we're looking for. Yeah, this is going to be another winner in the Miguron line of knives. No question about it. I could see this being really slick too, with like a flipper delete and then like a circular or half circle front flipper here. You know what I'm saying? Not anything that pokes up per se, just a smidge. That would be, with the cutout, poop, that would be money. This area would have to be redone a little bit probably, but they can pull it off. But as this sits, if you like a flipper and a cutout, which I'm a big fan of flipper cutout knives, front or rear flipper and a cutout, love them both. This will be a great knife to take a look at if you are in the market for a cheaper, high value folding knife. You'll have to let me know, what do you think of the new Miguron, and what do you think of Miguron's line of knives up until now? I think it's one of the best, if not the best, values in the knife world. You'll have to let me know what you think of Miguron down in the comments. Love hearing from you. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Always appreciate that, everyone. If you're new here, we release knife and EDC content just like this every single day. Hit that subscribe button, ring the little bell. I'd love to have you here. I'll put up a couple of new videos. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I will catch you on the next one.